Easter greetings to each of you in our Xavier family. As I look outside at the early flowers beginning to bloom and the buds coming out on the trees, with the warmer air and sunshine, it's sometimes difficult to reconcile some of what we have endured and what continues to unfold in the world around us. How can a world that holds so much beauty and promise be the same world that is marred by injustice, global pandemics and death, by war between nations, and a growing divisive incivility among members of this human family? Well, the single thread that connects those two disconnected realities of our world is the important gift of Easter, the gift of hope. Easter reminds us that we are a resurrection people, and that even in the darkest spaces of our lives, when all seems lost, hope lives there as a light. And as we imagine that infant Jesus in the manger, who we welcomed just weeks ago with his arms outstretched to his parents, and now as Christ on the cross again with arms outstretched, but outstretched to all of humanity, the message is the same. Life never ends and love never dies. So besides buds and flowers and warm sunlight, where else do we find this elusive hope? It's no secret that times have been hard, and if we're honest, constantly holding on to hope that things will somehow eventually get better can be exhausting, especially when it seems that sometimes our prayers are not being heard, or at least not being answered. So how do we find hope in the midst of all of this? There's a Latin phrase that I particularly love, spes messis in semine. Translated, it says, the hope of the harvest lies in the seed. In other words, when we look around this beautiful Xavier community that each of us supports and sustains every day, we see remarkable signs of hope in the young people who we serve. We see God's hand in all that they do, their growth, their resilience, their development, their commitments, their passion, their love for one another. All of that gives us hope for the future as we play an active role in shaping that future through them each and every day with the many gifts of our Ignatian heritage. And that is the message of Easter. That is the message we're reminded of each year. Whatever darkness we're facing in our lives, whatever is going on around us, there is God's eternal promise of light that we can rely on. Just as those early Christians rolled back the stone from the tomb to learn that Jesus indeed had risen, so too will each of us rise from the challenges and the disappointments and discouragements that we face. And as we love one another and lean on one another in our families, at work, and in our communities, we can be certain that God is with us, keeping his promises to never leave us, whatever challenges we are facing. God will walk through those challenges with us, always loving and always strengthening us. It's said that a bird sitting in a tree is never afraid of falling because her trust is not in the branch, but in her own wings. And so, Xavier family, as we enter into this beautiful season of Easter, renewed and filled with hope for the future, let us be reminded that today and tomorrow and always God is with us, in our wings, lifting us up. My wish for each of you is that you will be blessed in this beautiful season of hope with the confidence that God is with us in every moment, and that we will continue to be light for one another and for the world. God bless you and those who you love most, Xavier family, at Easter and every day. All for one.